are you? It's Brittany back with another video. I just finished recording the vlog that I did, and I even went and painted my nails while I waited for that to upload so that I could. Oh, cat hair everywhere. I had to upload that so that I could delete the video on my phone so I could record another video because my phone doesn't have that much data and all that, or storage and all that. But yeah, there's no real rhyme or reason about the books I'm talking about. I'm not going to really put them in an order. I will tell you what my favorite book of all time is, but that's subjective and it could change. I just feel like talking about books, so that's what we're going to do. And I would love to hear about books that you guys like, books that have left a big impact on you. If you have suggestions for books I should read, maybe, I'm totally open to suggestions on books that will maybe open my mind up to subjects I'm not familiar with or subjects I should know more about. But honestly, you'll probably get a little bit of a feel for what books I'm into, for the books I reveal. Sorry if I look tired. I feel very tired. Like I'm honestly about to fall asleep right now. But I want to do this video. So where should I start? Should I start with the books I have in physical form, or should I talk about the ones I have on my Kindle? I do have some audiobooks on my phone, but I'm using the phone to record this right now, so I will just speak on those. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be able to remember the name of one of the books that is on audio. So I might just not mention that one, to be honest. It wasn't that great of a book anyway. I didn't like it that much. But anyway, so I think I'll talk about the Kindle ones first, get the Kindle ones out of the way. So my Kindle, actually I don't want to use it that often. This is a Kindle Voyage. I got it in 2015. I saved up for it. Like, I really did. I saved up for it. And, but I really only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books on it. I think after getting it, I realized I'm just more of a fan of print books, and I like going to the library. I really do enjoy going to the library, and just because I only have 8 books on here, I do sometimes borrow books digitally from the library, which is something you can do if you're lucky enough to have a town that you can get a library card in. I know some people, my cat's on my lap right now. I know some people have to pay to use the library. I'm not sure how that works. When I moved here, I just went there with my license and a piece of mail, and I was able to get a library card for free. So let's talk about some of the books. We'll talk about these 2 that I have there right now. We Were Liars and Agatha Christie, The Sitterford Mystery. Both very good books. Let's talk a little bit about E. Lockhart, We Were Liars. Let me see if I can hit the about. Okay. Supposedly it's one of James Patterson's favorite thrillers for the beach. And I will read you the description. Published May 13th, 2014, so 6 years ago. 242 pages. Has 4 stars on, it's on sale for $1.99 right now on the Kindle the Kindle store. And I guess I purchased it February 18th, 2017. I did enjoy this book. I don't know if I rated it or not. Let's see. Okay, here's the description. A beautiful and distinguished family, a private island, a brilliant damaged girl, a passionate political boy, a group of 4 friends, the Liars, whose friendship turns destructive, a revolution, an accident, a secret, lies upon lies, true love, the truth. We Were Liars is a modern, sophisticated suspense novel from New York Times bestselling author, National Book Award finalist, and Prince Award honoree E. Lockhart. Read it, and if anyone asks you how it ends, just lie. Oh, I didn't read that bottom, so should I tell you how it ends? I haven't read it in years now, but it was very good. I do recommend this one. We Were Liars. If I had to compare this to anything, I don't know what I could compare it to. a little bit of And Then There Were None, with a little bit of a teenage, maybe Pretty Little Liars twist, kind of like that. I don't really know much about Pretty Little Liars. Never read the book. I haven't watched the series. But I feel like if you kind of clash those together and took elements from both of them, you would kind of get We Were Liars. A very good book. I really recommend it, especially if you kind of like suspense, thriller, twisty books. Next, on the back there was Agatha Christie's The Sitterford Mystery, which, good. Agatha Christie is my favorite author. She's a little controversial though, I'm starting to realize, but I do like her work. I really do. This is on sale for $9.99. I've been ripped off, obviously. Very good book. I'm not very much a fan of Poirot though. Hercule Poirot, or however you say him. I don't think I've even read any of his books. I watched the Murder on the Orient Express. I watched that movie with Johnny Depp and all them in it. That was good. And I think I did read Murder on the Orient Express. But other than that, I think I forget what the first book, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd or something like that. I think I rented that, but I didn't finish it. But anyway, here's the description for it. It was published March 17, 2009, but obviously I don't think that's when I think she was dead by then. And a remote, and you know, with Agatha Christie, how she writes is a little bit, the English is a little bit more, or it's a little less casual. So I get a little bit of a headache sometimes when I read her, because it's just like, it's so grammatically correct. I don't know. Let me read the description. Maybe you'll get a little bit of a hint of it. In a remote house in the middle of Dartmoor, 6 shadowy figures huddle around a table for a seance. Tension rises as the spirits spell out a chilling message. Captain Trevelyan, dead, murder. Is this black magic or simply a macabre joke? The only way to be certain is to locate Captain Trevelyan. Unfortunately, his home is 6 miles away, and with snowdrifts blocking the road, someone will have to make the journey on foot. Are you getting a little bit of a hint of the books I like? We Were Liars, and there was 4 kids. This one, there's 6. I'm really into like the whodunits. That's what they call them, whodunits. Very good book as well. I loved it. Oh, it's a very good. I actually need to read it again because I forgot about all that seance business. I really do recommend it though. I do recommend giving a lot of Agatha Christie's books a chance. Then we have this page here, and this is the rest of the books on my Kindle. I'm not going to be talking about that one on the Kindle because I actually have it in print. And some of them I'm not going to really talk about that Black Room one because I've never read that one. I'm 3 minutes into or 3% into the book. I really haven't even given it a chance. But I guess we'll go and start with Carter Wilson's The Boy in the Woods. Let me read the description because I haven't read this in a while, and I don't think I'm really into it that much. Let's read the description. It's on sale as well. I don't know what I bought any of these things for. I'm gonna be a little upset if I got ripped off. I'm just kidding. In 1981, 3 14-year-old boys witnessed a horrific murder in the Oregon woods near their homes. Sucked into becoming accomplices to the subsequent cover-up, they swear never to talk about what happened. 30 years later, Tommy Deverex has become a best-selling author using writing as his therapy. Finally, he is ready to tell the world what happened, even if he disguises the killing as fiction. But his life is set to unravel when he is approached by a woman who asks for his autograph, leaving behind a note which reads, "You didn't even change my name." Tommy's worst nightmare has come true. A figure from his past has returned, threatening to divulge his darkest secrets unless he agrees to do everything she asks of him. Thus begins a deadly cat and mouse game that can only end with one or both of their destructions. This came published June 1st, 2014. Let me see. I'm only 37% into it, and I can tell you right now I haven't touched it in 2 years. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very weird. From what I know, they witnessed this murder of this little boy. Spoilers. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Spoilers. And this lady comes back. I don't know. I don't know. It just hasn't really caught my attention that much. Especially the writing. I don't think I really was a fan of. I don't know if I'm going to finish it, to be honest. I mean, I'm 37% into it already. But I'm going to have to restart it now because I forget most of it. I wasn't very much into it. It was between this and another book. I wish I would have bought the other book. I couldn't even tell you what the other book's name was now. Had Revelation, I think it was called. Had like a typewriter on the cover. But let's go to Agatha Christie, The Secret of Chimneys. Oh no, I'm opening the book by accident. Good book, good book. I did like this one a lot. It took me forever to read it. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. It's gonna take me to that one. It took me forever to read it because again, Agatha Christie's writing is a little just hard for my simpleton brain to comprehend. It is part of a series, the Superintendent Battle book 1. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that. It is $9.99 on the Kindle. My cat is leaving my lap, so now I'm cold. Published February 10th, 2010. Okay. What is the secret of Chimneys? A young drifter finds out. Oh, I dropped it. A young drifter finds out when a favor for a friend pulls him into the heart of a deadly conspiracy in this captivating classic from Agatha Christie. Little did Anthony Cade suspect that an errand for a friend would place him in the center of deadly conspiracy. Drawn into a web of intrigue, he begins to realize that the simple favor has placed him in serious danger. As events unfold, the combined forces of Scotland Yard and the French Surete, probably not pronouncing that word right, gradually converge on Chimneys, the great country estate that hides an amazing secret. That summary or description doesn't really give it that much justice. You don't really know that much of what's going on. It's I think I've heard that it's described as like a political drama, which at first I was like, not really my jam, but if you give it a try, it's very good. It has a little bit of a twist in it. The characters are funny. I liked it a lot. And I know I finished that book here. I purchased it January 6, 2017, it says, but I remember finishing it last year or something like that. I finally gave it a chance, and I really did enjoy it. Again, a little bit political, so it's kind of like, if you're not into like political jamble and such, you probably won't like that, but I enjoyed it a lot. Next is Annihilation. So you might have heard of this one. Oops, I'm accidentally opening it. And on my Kindle it says I'm 24% with it, but that's because I was rereading it. I did finish this one. Finished it pretty quick too. I did enjoy this one. I feel bad if I mentioned a few of the authors' names. Annihilation, a novel, Southern Reach trilogy book. This one is by Jeff Vandermeer. You've probably heard of this one because it did come out with a movie adaptation recently. And I think I read the book once I heard about the movie adaptation release. That's how I was exposed to it. I don't know what that actress's name is that's in it though. Yeah, I don't know her name. But it's a very good book. Again, a little bit the grammar in it. It's great. I mean, it's written perfectly, but it's a little bit. I'm stupid. Like, it's a little bit like, oh my god. Let me read the description for you. Area X has been cut off from the rest of the continent for decades. Nature has reclaimed the last vestiges of human civilization. The first expedition returned and reports of a pristine Edenic landscape. The second expedition ended in mass suicide. The third expedition in a hail of gunfire as its members turned on one another. The members of the 11th expedition returned as shadows of their former selves, and within weeks all had died of cancer. In Annihilation, the first volume, is this Annihilation I'm reading? Yeah. In Annihilation, the first volume of Jeff Vandermeer's South Reach trilogy, we join the 12th expedition. A group is made up of 4 women, an anthropologist, a surveyor, a psychologist, oh my god, I'm so stupid, psychologist, a de facto leader, and our narrator, a biologist. Their mission is to map the terrain, record all observations of their surroundings and of one another, and above all, avoid being contaminated by Area X itself. They arrive expecting the unexpected, and Area X delivers. They discover a massive topographical anomaly and life forms that surpass understanding. But it's the surprises that came across the border with them and the secrets that the expedition members are keeping from one another that changes everything. 10 out of 10. I definitely recommend this book. I recommend it way more than the movie. I've never been one of those people to be like, oh, the book's so much better than the movie, because I really don't read that many books that have movies that come out. I read The Murder on the Orient Express, and I liked the movie for it. I've never read the Harry Potter books. I've never read the Game of Thrones books or any of those. But Annihilation, great book. I should do a video review of it, because it's one of the only books I really read. I mean, I did take up from novel to film class in high school, so I'm kind of lying. But those were books that not many people read anymore. That we did. We did Persepolis, which is a comic book. We did some kind of eagle book. I forget the name of it. I'll have to try to remember it. Maybe I'll do a video on it. But Annihilation, I very much recommend it. And I do have Authority, which is the sequel, but I'm not very far into, and I'm actually giving Annihilation another reread so that I can jump back into Authority. I will read the description to Authority really quick. Actually, maybe I won't, because I don't want to spoil Annihilation for you guys. So I won't. Read Annihilation and then come back to me and we'll talk about Authority. Is that it? Actually, I think that's all that I have on my thing. So, do you guys get a little bit of a vibe of the books that I like on my Kindle and all that? I have a few more books in front of me, but we'll talk about this one maybe first. But I'm definitely into whodunits. I like enclosed areas. Same with my movies. That's how I like my movies too. I like whodunits. I like my favorite movie, and I know we're talking about books right now, but my favorite movie of all time is Clue from 1985. Great movie. And I'm a horror fan. My favorite genre of movie is horror, but Clue is just a masterpiece. It's honestly the best book ever. First, we'll talk about this because it is a book, but it's a comic book. It's called Strange Planet by Nathan W. Pyle. You've probably seen ads, or you've probably seen memes all over the internet about this. It's such a cute little book, and I couldn't resist buying it. So it's just a fun little read. I read it all in a day. But I mean, and it's cute. It's a pink or purple book, so it looks cute in my room. So I definitely recommend you just getting this. So first, I gotta talk about these, and then the last three are all kind of part of a series. Well, they're not part of a series, but they're all by the same author. I got this one a month ago, The Court of Owls. A friend of mine is reading this, and he recommended it. I'm only 8 pages in, to be honest, but it's very good so far. I'm just I'm trying to get back into reading, but it looks very good. And there's 2 other books in the series, one about Harley Quinn, and then there's a Killing Joke as well. But let me see if there's a description for it. Okay, let's see. This is by Greg Cox. The Court of Owls. I want to say Court of Shadows. I feel like that's something that's familiar. Dating back centuries, its leaders are men and women of wealth and influence who meet in secrecy, hiding their identities behind stark white masks. Killing science and alchemy, they sought to kill Bruce Wayne, who, as Batman, dealt them their greatest defeats. Even then, they faded back into darkness, and he could not eliminate them entirely. Now, Gotham City is plagued with a series of brutal murders in which mutilated bodies are burned almost beyond recognition. Batman and his allies, including Nightwing and Batgirl, quickly realize that the Talons have returned, yet the reason for killing remains tauntingly unknown. As the heroes seek answers, their path stretches back more than a century. Should the owls obtain what they seek, it could grant them power that no one could counter. With each moment that passes, more victims appear. Batman must stop the Talons before they kill again. Sounds good to me, honestly. And the first chapter is pretty gory. Like, first 8 pages is already pretty gory, so I'm excited to get to it. And it's hardcover, so I kind of love it. But I can't say if I recommend it or not, but it's Batman. How can you go wrong? Like, it's Batman. Okay, the last 3 books I have are all by the same author, who is like, if Agatha Christie's And Then There Was None, which is my favorite book of all time, wasn't so great, and if I never discovered Agatha Christie, this guy would be my favorite author, like, hands down. But if I hadn't discovered Agatha Christie, I probably wouldn't have discovered him either. But his name is Luke Smitherd, and I have 3 books by him. This is his most recent book, The Man with All the Answers. I mean, look at that artwork. Is that not, like, beautiful? Then he has Luke Smitherd Kill Someone. And then we have The Stone Man, a science fiction horror novel. And I mean, horror is like one of my favorite things. You know, I've never even read a Stephen King book though, so how can I say horror is my favorite thing? These 2 I read as audiobooks originally. I worked overnight at a grocery store. I would do the personal shopping of people who did want to do like pick up for their orders. They didn't want to come into the store. I don't know if you've probably heard of that by now, especially with the pandemic going on. You can do online shopping where you place an order and people will shop for you. I was that person, but I did overnight to get people ahead, get the morning shift ahead. So I would work 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. and I was allowed to listen to music, whatever, but for a good while there I decided to listen to audiobooks. So I originally first got Kill Someone because I was looking for an audiobook, and just the description of this sounded so intriguing, so I'll read it to you real quick. It says, here are the rules. Method: you can't use a gun, you can't use explosives, you can't use poison. It has to be up close and personal. Don't worry about leaving evidence, that will be taken care of. Victim: no one suicidal, no one over the age of 65, no one with a terminal illness. Choose your method, choose your victim. Chris Summer was a 21-year-old call center worker and a dropout, a nobody still living at home with his parents. I mean, relatable. Then one day, the man in white came to his family's house offering a seemingly impossible choice. Kill a random stranger, one of Chris's choosing, within 12 days in order to save the lives of 5 kidnapped siblings. Refuse, and they die slowly and painfully. The clock is ticking, the man in the white is watching, and Chris has some very serious choices to make. This is a tale of fear, indecision, confused masculinity, and brutal violence. A story of coddled young man thrust into a world of sharp metal and bone. Ask yourself if you could do it, then ask yourself who you would choose. Oh my god, like, do you not want to go read this book right now? Like, it's the age-old, like, one of the age-old questions, like, if you could kill someone, who would you kill? Maybe I'm morbid, maybe you've never asked yourself that, but I'm asking you right now, if you could kill someone, who would you kill? Would you do it for, and I mean, it's also that question of, to save, would you kill one person to save 5? Or would you let fate have its own way, and it's not your fault those 5 people are going to die, but the one person you're going to kill didn't ask to be dragged into the situation. So now you're dragging one other person into the situation that wasn't supposed to be into it. So it's a great book, honestly. If I didn't love And Then There Was None so much, this one and The Stone Man would be probably tied as my favorite books of all time. I strongly suggest you go and read this book right now. Luke Smitherd, he's English or British or from the UK or something, so there's a little bit of UK slang in there, but it's still it's great. Honestly, it's a great book. Has a twist. I'm hoping telling you guys there's a twist isn't too spoily. I mean, you don't know what the twist is, but I guess it is. I'm sorry, but oh, it's great. It's a great book. I love it so much. I definitely recommend the audio book too if you don't have time to read just a straight up paperback or anything. I think Luke Smithers himself does the audiobook, or I'm not sure. But it was a great. Oh my god, I remember reading it at work, and I was down the granola bar aisle. That's how much I remember it. I was down the granola bar aisle as the last few pages were being read, and or like the last chapter was being read. I'm like, oh my god, like it's that good. I so much recommend this one. I didn't go to Stone Man, which I'm not sure which one came out first, to be honest. This one must have been, because it says from the international bestseller, The Stone Man. This one now, I know I read Kill Someone first, because after I read Kill Someone, I was like, I need to read the rest of this man's books. Like, this man is, oh my god, he's right, the books. And I don't know if you can tell in the art, you could barely tell that there is actually a figure there. I don't know what's up with this artwork. I don't know if it's meant to be that dim. I wish it was a little less hard to see him there, because it's pretty hard to see it in real life. I can barely see it. But the Stone Man, let me read you the description on the back. It says, let me make sure you guys can see it. Nobody knew where it came from. Nobody knew why it came. Even so, for Two-Bit and antisocial reporter Andy Pointer, the appearance in his city of a man made of moving stone meant the scoop of a lifetime. He would soon learn that the Stone Man was much more and much worse than that. This is Andy's account of everything that came afterwards and the people that were lost along the way, of the terrible price that he and the rest of his country had to pay. The destruction, the visions, the dying. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I was like, man, I gotta know what else this man has got in his brain. It's so good, guys. The pacing is really well. There's comedy, there's suspense, there's I just love it. I just love it. I like how it's set up. You're reading through the account of, it says in Andy's account of everything that came afterwards. You kind of, I can't even explain it. But I so strongly recommend you read The Stone Man as well. It's a great book. Sometimes I start to think, like, how can people come up with these ideas? They're so good. But I love it. I'll always hold this one, and I'm very happy to have it in print right now, because I only had these two as audiobooks, and happy to have them in print. So the last one that I have right here, and I'm currently reading it now. I forget what page I ended on, actually. I ended on 23. Let me see if it looks familiar. No, I ended up a little bit farther than 23, but The Man with All the Answers. Now, is that cover work not going to draw you in? I think I said that earlier, but gorgeous. And it's a very short book, honestly. I think you called it a novella. Let me show you. A lot thinner than the other ones, which I kind of appreciate. Like, because the theme, I'm not sure if I'm into the content so far, but I'll support Luke with whatever he does, honestly. Now, let me read it. He seems to know everything you want even before you do. He's insightful, kind, and understands you in ways you don't even understand yourself. He's everything you ever dreamed of. But there's always a catch, and now it's time for the man with all the answers to tell you the truth about his incredible, impossible gift, about the friends that died in its creation, about the terrible price he's had to pay. It says Audiobook of the Year nominee Luke Smithers returns for the first time in over 3 years with a tale of speculative fiction and psychic romance. What would you do if the man with all the answers fell in love with you? Yeah, I feel like, no, it's good so far. It's good so far, but, one, like, I think I'm only, like, 30 pages in. I mean, I guess it's not that big of a book, but I already know, about the truth about his incredible, impossible gift. I know about the friend that dies, and the terrible price he's had to pay. We're just a little bit past that, and with where I am. And so far, I'm like, what? I mean, I guess we'll see. I'm not really a romance person, so that's maybe why I'm not taking it so well. I don't like romance novels. I don't like romance movies. It's just not my thing. But I will give it a chance. One, because the artwork's so nice, and because I like Luke Smitherd's books. He's honestly a great author. So I think that's all I've got to talk about right now. I'm not going to really talk too much about... Oh, there's like a stain on it already. I'm not going to talk too much about And Then There Was None by Agatha Christie. It's a very good book. No, let me bring it up on the Kindle. I mean, it is my favorite book. I don't want to dismiss it, but it's just... I do recommend the audiobook. The audiobook's very good. And you know what? I recommend the TV miniseries that BBC did. Very good. Honestly, I ship Vera and whoever the main character guy is. They do a little bit of romance twist in the TV series, and I mean, I don't think that really happened in the book. Haven't read it in a while, but very good, very good. And you know, it kind of gives me Clue vibes, and Clue's my favorite movie, and then There Was None is my favorite book, so I obviously have a type. Let me read. I'm sure you've heard of this book by now. And Then There Was None. I should buy it, honestly. 10 people. Okay, 10 people each with 10 people, each with something to hide and something to fear, are invited to an isolated mansion on Indian Island by a host who... Oh, wait. It's not supposed to be called Indian Island anymore. They changed it to Soldier Island because Indian, you know, kind of incorrect, because, you know, this book does have a little bit of a dark history to it, of what the original title was. And then they redid it to Indian, I think, and then everyone's like, why? India's not any better, like, change it to something else. So let me reread it with a little bit of the change. 10 people, and I'm pretty sure they also change it in the audiobook. So if you read the audiobook, you're not going to get Indian, you're not going to get the really bad original name of this book. It'll be called Soldier Island, and I'm pretty sure the poem in it won't be derogatory or anything. 10 people, each with something to hide and something to fear, are invited to an isolated mansion on Soldier Island by a host who surprisingly fails to appear. On the island, they are cut off from everything but each other and inescapable shadows of their own past lives. One by one, the guests share the darkest secrets of their wicked past, and one by one, they die. Which among them is the killer, and will any of them survive? Great book if you love... I was going to say if you love And Then There Were None, but that is this book. If you like Clue, if you like... have you ever seen the movie Devil by M. Night Shyamalan? The movie Devil, it's like about these 5 people in an elevator and they start getting killed off one by one. Good movie. I don't know. I think maybe it's gotten bad reviews, but I like it. I like M. Night Shyamalan movies, actually, to be honest. The Villain is really okay. But Devil, I definitely recommend you go and watch that. If you don't want to read Agatha Christie's book because of its past, I understand. I definitely do hope you would give the miniseries a little bit of a try then, if you want to just give up maybe 4 hours instead of reading the book. Definitely recommend the miniseries because it's pretty accurate. The only thing that's not really accurate in the miniseries is the weird romance between Vera and I forget what his name is for some reason. But other than that, I think it was pretty accurate. I mean, the deaths, I mean, you know, people die. The deaths aren't as accurate as they were in the book, I think, but still very good. I definitely recommend it if you just want to get the feel of the book. But that is my favorite book. Other than that, I think that's all the books I felt like talking about today. You know what? It's one of my dreams. One of my few dreams, especially when I move back to my old town, is I want to host a crochet club. I want to get some more people into the crocheting. I want to get more people into the board gaming, so I want to set up a board game club, and I also want to set up a book club. I want to set up a little bit of a, you know, we all read the same book the same month or two. You know, some people, it takes people a while to read a book. You know, a lot of my friends have kids, so I can understand maybe one book every 2 months or something like that, or we only do like 4 books a year. You know, it's better than reading no books a year, because there's some people who don't read any books a year. including me. Honestly, I don't really read books that often. Um, but yeah, I would like to do that one day, to have, like maybe Monday is book club, Wednesday is crochet club, and Friday is board game club night. So, but anyway, I talked about the books I wanted to talk about, and I hope you guys do give some of my books a chance. Not my books, but there's some of my, ooh, my knuckles. There's some of my favorite books, and I totally recommend them. And let me know if you read them in the comments. I would totally love to talk about it. And let me know if you guys would, any of you guys would be down to reading the same book ever. Having a little book club. Maybe we'll go live and we'll chit chat about it. I only have 56 subscribers right now, so maybe it's a little too early in the channel's life and such to host a book club, but maybe in the future we'll do one all together. So let me know what your favorite books are down below. I would love to give them a read, and let me know if you find any books that kind of fit my vibe and my preference. Totally open to it. But until next time, see you guys. Bye.